Imagine standing in a dark room where no one claps for you, no one believes in you, and no one is coming to save you. It's just you, your fear, and your dream. This is where real goals are born. Not in crowds, not in comfort, but in silence, when you decide to walk alone. Most people wait for motivation from others. They wait for approval, for support, for someone to say, yes, you can do it. But life doesn't work that way. Muniba Mazari, a woman who rebuilt her entire life from a wheelchair, once said that when everything is taken from you, what remains is your mindset. And that mindset can either break you or build you. Achieving your goals alone doesn't mean you hate people. It means you refuse to depend on them for your strength. Because the truth is, the path to your dreams is lonely. When you decide to change, the world stays the same. Your friends stay comfortable. Your family stays cautious. And suddenly, your ambition makes others uncomfortable. This is where most people quit. They think something is wrong because no one understands them, but nothing is wrong. This is the test. Muniba didn't wake up one day as an icon. She woke up broken, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Doctors told her she would never walk again. Society told her life was over, and even her own mind questioned her worth. But when you have no external support, something powerful happens. You start listening to your inner voice. And that voice says, if I'm already at the lowest point, what do I really have to lose? Achieving your goals alone begins with radical self-honesty. You stop lying to yourself. You stop blaming circumstances. You stop waiting for perfect conditions. You accept your pain, not as a punishment, but as training. Muniba learned to sit with her pain, not to romanticize it, but to understand pain teaches discipline. Loneliness teaches focus. Silence teaches clarity. When you walk alone, distractions disappear. There's no one to impress, no one to compete with, no one to distract you from your purpose. You stop performing and start becoming. Most people are afraid of being alone because they confuse loneliness with emptiness. But being alone is not empty. It is full of answers. It is where you meet your true self. And sometimes you don't like what you see. You see procrastination, fear, weak habits, doubt, but this is good because you cannot fix what you refuse to face. Achieving your goals alone means building a relationship with discipline, not motivation. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is a decision. Muniba didn't feel motivated every day to smile, to paint, to speak, to live. But she decided every single day that quitting was not an option. And here's the harsh truth. No one is coming to push you when you're tired. No one is coming to wake you up early. No one is coming to sit with you while you fail again and again. That's your job. When you walk alone, your standards rise. You stop doing things just because everyone else is doing them. You start as, King, is this helping me become who I need to be? And slowly, painfully, quietly, you grow. People will misunderstand your silence. They will think you're arrogant, distant, or lost, but they don't see the internal war you're winning every day. Muniba was misunderstood too. Some saw a broken woman, others saw inspiration, but she saw herself as a work in progress. And that mindset changes everything, because when you stop expecting understanding from others, you become unstoppable. You no longer need validation to move forward. You no longer need applause to stay consistent. You don't need permission to dream. You just need courage to keep going when no one is watching. And this is where most transformations begin. When no one is watching, that's when your character is built. Achieving your goals alone means learning to show up even when the results are invisible, even when progress is slow, even when doubt whispers that your effort doesn't matter. Muniba Mazari often speaks about redefining success. Success is not standing on a stage. Success is getting out of bed when your body feels heavy and your heart feels tired. Success is choosing hope on days when despair feels easier. When you work alone, you stop chasing quick wins. You start building something deeper, resilience. Working alone forces you to become your own coach. You learn how to speak to yourself when things go wrong. Most people are kind to others but cruel to themselves. They insult themselves for mistakes, replay failures, and carry guilt like a permanent label. But growth doesn't come from self-hate. It comes from self-responsibility. Muniba didn't deny her pain, but she refused to let it define her limits. She spoke to herself with honesty and compassion. She asked, "What can I do today with what I have, where I am?" And that question is powerful because it removes excuses. You may not have support. You may not have resources, but you always have today. Achieving your goals alone also means learning patience. When you walk alone, there's no shortcut. No one to lift you halfway, no one to cover your mistakes. And that's uncomfortable. But it's also what makes you strong. Because when you build something slowly, you build it solid. People who succeed with constant help often collapse when the help disappears. But when you succeed alone, you know your strength is real. You've tested it. You've earned it. There will be nights when you question everything. Nights when you wonder if the sacrifice is worth it. Nights when lone lines feels louder than your purpose. Muniba had those nights too. Moments when she asked why life chose her for suffering. But she learned something important. Pain is not proof that you're on the wrong path. Sometimes it's proof that you're on a meaningful one. Walking alone teaches you emotional independence. You stop expecting others to understand your journey, because your journey was never me. And to be understood by everyone. Some paths are only clear to the person walking them. And as you grow, something strange happens. The same people who ignored your struggle will notice your strength. The same voices that doubted you will ask for your secret. But by then, you won't need their approval, because you didn't build your dream for applause. You built it for freedom, achieving your goal. LS alone requires you to create routines that protect your focus. You guard your time, you reduce noise. You choose growth over comfort. Discipline becomes your best friend, not because it's easy, but because it works. Muniba turned her solitude into creativity. She painted, she wrote, she spoke, she transformed pain into purpose. And you can do the same. Your struggle is not useless. Your loneliness is not wasted. It is shaping you into someone capable of carrying a bigger vision. And remember this, being alone doesn't mean staying alone forever. It means you're preparing yourself so that when people do join they don't carry you. You walk beside them as an equal. Most people want company before they are ready, but strong people prepare first. They become stable first. They become whole first. And that's the power of achieving your goals alone. At some point, you realize that walking alone has changed you. You're not the same person who started. Your reactions are calmer. Your focus is sharper. Your confidence is quieter, but stronger. You no longer chase attention. You chase alignment. Achieving your goals alone teaches you to trust yourself, not blindly, but honestly. You learn your limits, and then you learn how to push them. You learn when to rest and when to fight. This self-trust is something no one can give you. It can only be earned through experience. Muniba Mazari often reminds us that life doesn't become easy, you become strong. Strength isn't loud. It doesn't announce itself. It shows up in consistency, in showing up again after failing, in choosing dignity over bitterness. When you walk alone, you stop measuring your progress against others. You stop comparing timelines. You understand that growth is not a race. It's a relationship with effort, patience, and faith. And here's something most people don't tell you. Solitude reveals your purpose. When the noise fades, when the opinions disappear, when expectations no longer control you, you hear your calling clearly. That calling may scare you. It may feel too big, but it feels true. There will still be moments when loneliness returns. Growth doesn't eliminate discomfort. It teaches you how to sit with it without running away. And in those moments, remember this: you are not alone because you are unworthy. You are alone because you are becoming. Muniba turned her scars into stories that healed millions. Not because she had help at every step, but because she refused to surrender her meaning to her circumstances. She chose courage when fear was logical. She chose purpose when quitting was easier. And you can choose the same. Achieving your goals alone is not about isolatio. It's about inner leadership. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need external permission to move forward. Someone who can stand firm when everything feels uncertain. One day people will see the results. They'll see the strength, the clarity, the confidence, but they won't see the nights you cried alone, the mornings you forced yourself forward, the sacrifices you made in silence. And that's okay, because you didn't do it for them. You did it for the version of yourself who refused to give up, even when no one was watching. If you remember anything from this journey, remember this: you are stronger than the silence around you. You are stronger than the absence of support. You are stronger than the doubts that visit you at night. Achieving your goals alone is not a curse. It is a calling. It means life trusts you with responsibility. It means you are being trained for something meaningful. Not everyone is given the strength to stand alone and still move forward. Muniba Mazari did not wait for life to become fair. She chose to become powerful. She chose to rise, not because circumstances changed, but because she did. And that same choice exists within you right now. There will be days when you feel invisible, days when your effort feels unnoticed, days when you wonder if anyone would care if you stopped trying. But in those moments, remember, the most important witness to your journey is you. Keep going, even when it's slow, even when it's lonely, even when it hurts. Because one day you will look back and realize that walking alone taught you how to stand strong. That silence taught you how to listen. That pain taught you how to lead. And when the world finally sees you, you won't need its approval. You'll already know your worth. Your journey doesn't require permission. Your dream doesn't require applause. Your strength doesn't require validation. Just one decision today to keep walking. Even if it's alone,